Hello everyone, once again I welcome you all at Nagesh Kasgi Orchid School TV channel, and today we are going to study about the new lesson of the science, that is the moon. So students, as we know that our space is made up of many planets, stars and satellites. So out of them today we are going to study about the natural satellite of the earth, that is the moon. So in this topic we have to study about how the moon looks, then second point, that is the conditions on the moon, then how the moon moves, then phases of the moon, landing on the moon. Also we have to study about two types of eclipses, that are solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. And at last we have to study about artificial satellites and uses of satellites. Students, as I told you before that, and as we know that our space is made up of many stars, planets and satellite, and we also know that moon is the natural satellite of the earth, and in this lesson we are going to study about the moon in detail. So in this lesson we, first of all we will study about the basic structure of the moon, or how the moon looks. So first of all we will study about how exactly the moon looks. So students, in your textbook you can see the picture of moon, or at night also you can see the moon, or you can see the images of the moon, but and we see the only outer structure of the moon, that it is looking like the ball, but as we see the structure from the earth is different in originally. So how exactly the moon looks? First of all, the moon is looking like a ball of rocks. How exactly the shape of the moon? The moon is exactly like a ball of rocks. And how is the size of the moon? It is near about one quarter the size of the earth. What is the size of the moon? It is near about quarter the size of the earth, and it is about 384,400 kilometer away from the earth. How far the moon from the earth? It is about 384,400 kilometer away from the earth, and it is our nearest neighbor in the space. It is our nearest neighbor. So moon is the nearest neighbor in the space. That is why it appears so big from the earth. This is the reason, due to that it appears so big from the earth. Although the moon is the brightest object in the sky, it does not give out light of its own, and it is very important thing that we have to keep in mind, that moon does not have its own light. Moon does not have its own light. Then where does the moon get its light? Where does the moon get its lights? It reflects the light. It reflects the light of the sun. It reflects the light of the sun. Where does the moon get the light? Moon get the light from the sun. It reflects the light of the sun. In this picture, I will show one picture. Here you can see the moon reflect the light of the sun. Here this is the moon, and these rays show the rays of sunlight or rays of the sun, and this is our earth. When rays of the sun falls on the moon, moon reflects the light of the sun on the earth. That means the moon reflects the light of the earth. Now afterwards we will see about the second point of the lesson, that is the conditions on the moon. Conditions on the moon. Students, as we know that conditions on the moon are quite difficult, hence it is not suitable for living beings to survive. Conditions on the moon are quite difficult or hard or not suitable for the human beings or any of the living things. That is why conditions on the moon are quite difficult. How? We will see about that. How it is difficult? First of all, there is no life on the moon. There is no life on the moon and it does not have any water and its surface is covered with a layer of dust. First of all, this is the very worst conditions, that it does not have any water and its surface is covered with a layer of dust. That means, due to of less water or unavailability of water, no living beings are found there and its surface is also covered with the layer of dust, and it has mountains. It has mountains and huge round pits called craters on its surface. Craters on its surface. In this picture you can see these craters and mountains on the surface of the moon. Conditions of in the moon, the first condition is that there is no water and surface is covered with the layer, and it also has mountains and huge pits called as craters. That craters you can see in these pictures, craters and mountains on the surface, and the mountains and craters can be seen from the earth also, but we have to use the telescope for that. That means, the mountains and craters can be seen from the earth through a telescope, and like the earth, there is no atmosphere. Like the earth, there is no atmosphere. There is no atmosphere surrounding the moon, and so there is no wind, no clouds and also there will be no raining. Why? If there is no wind, if there is no cloud, there are no clouds, atmosphere is not there. That is why also raining was been not there. Raining is also not there. So, on the earth, atmosphere absorb a part of the sunlight. As we know that on the earth, as atmosphere absorb a part of the sunlight, so it does not become very hot during the day. That means, on the earth, atmosphere is suitable for living beings. Why? Because it is not too hot or not too cold during the night or during the day, but on the moon it is exactly opposite. The atmosphere is exactly opposite. How? On the moon, as there is no atmosphere, it becomes boiling hot. That means, very hot atmosphere during the day. Temperature is very high during the day, and also on the earth the atmosphere retains heat at night. It is very important characteristic of the atmosphere of the earth that it also retains the heat at night. Retains means continue to hold on to something, continue to hold on something. That means, due to of this condition, it does not become very cold or does not become very hot on the earth. But however, since there is no atmosphere on the moon to retain heat, it is freezing cold at night. How is the conditions or the atmosphere on the moon at night? It is freezing cold. Freezing cold means very cold, in which in that situation no human beings or no living things can be survive. That type of atmosphere will be there, is there. And if you shout on the moon, this is very another important thing about the moon, that if you shout on the moon, then nobody can hear you. Why? Because sound needs air and air to travel. As we know that sound needs air to travel, but due to absence of air or due to absence of atmosphere, the sound cannot travel, and if you shout or if you talk on the moon, then nobody can hear you, and this is because of why, because sound travels in air and there is no air on the moon. This is also very important thing about the moon, that there is no air on the moon. Then force of gravity is less on the moon as compared to the earth. As we know that there is a gravitational force on the earth. In our previous lesson we studied about that gravitational force, and due to gravitational force we are able to stable on the earth, but on the moon there is a less force of gravity, and as we know that gravitational force is more on the earth, and due to that earth pulls everything down with the force of gravity. Due to gravitational force the earth pulls everything down with the help of or with the force of gravity, and that is why anything that is thrown up comes down. For example, if you throw a ball in the air, then what happens? After some times or within a second, that balls comes again down to the ground. Why this is happening? This is due to a force of gravity or gravitational force, or the gravitational force attracts the ball towards the ground. But in the same way the moon also pulls all the things. In the same way the moon also pulls all the things towards itself, but since it is much smaller than the earth, as we know that gravitational force is less on the moon and gravitational force is more on the earth, but due to of less gravitational force due to of less gravity, it is if we throw anything on the surface of moon, then it goes higher. This means that if you can jump 1 meter high on the earth, then you can jump 6 meter high on the moon with the same effort. For example, if you can jump 1 meter high on the earth, then in the same force you can jump 6 meters on the moon. That means it is due to of less gravitational force. In fact, your weight on the moon would only be 1/6 of your weight on the earth. Suppose your weight on the earth is near about 60 kilogram, then your weight on the moon will be near about only 10 kilogram. So, these are all about the conditions on the moon, and which are quite difficult as compared to the earth. Hence, no living things could be survive or unable to survive there on the earth. Now, after this we will move on the next point of the lesson, that is how the moon moves. How the moon moves. The moon revolves around the earth. The moon revolves around the earth in the same way the earth revolves around the sun, and it takes around 28 days. How much days or how much time does the moon require? It requires 28 days or sometimes nearly about a month to complete or to make a one complete revolution around the earth. If moon have to revolve or moon have to complete one revolution, it requires near about 28 days or sometimes nearly about a month to revolve around the earth. And as we know that there are some natural and artificial satellites in the space, and the moon is only the natural satellite of the earth. As we know that there are so many satellites, so many planets in our space, but only the moon is the only natural satellite of the earth. So, what is mean by satellite? Here is the definition of satellite. You can see a satellite of a star or planet is an object that goes around the star or planet. What is mean by satellite? A satellite of a star or planet is an object that goes around the star or planet. So, and the moon is only natural satellite, and natural satellites of planets are known as the moons, and the moon or the earth has only one moon. The earth has only one moon. I will show one picture about that, exactly how moon revolves around the sun. In this picture you can see the moon revolving around the earth, and for to complete one revolution around the earth, moon requires near about 28 days or sometimes nearly a month. Now, afterwards we have to study about the next point of the lesson, that are the phases of the moon. Now, we will see about the phases of the moon. As we know that the moon as seen from the earth appears to change its shape every day. As we see that sometimes we see full part of the moon, sometimes we see only the crescent part, or sometimes we see half part of the moon. So, these changes or this change in the shape every day are called as the phases of the moon. As mean the moon as seen from the earth appears to change its shape every day, and from a every day from a thin crescent to the full circular moon, and this is because we only these are called as the phases of the moon, and this is because we only see the part of the moon that reflects sunlight to us, and the rest of the moon is dark. So, this is because only we see the part of the moon that reflects the sunlight to us, and the rest of the moon is dark, and these different shapes of the moon as seen from the earth are called the phases of the moon. What are the phases of the moon? The different shapes of the moon as seen from the earth. Different shapes of the moon as seen from the earth are called as the phases of the moon. So, according to their phases, we can say, according to the shape we can say different phases, and we can give the names to the different phases, that new moon, crescent moon, half moon, gibbous moon, full moon, etc. So, first of all we will see about the new moon. So, what is mean by new moon? When the side of the moon facing us gets no sunlight. When the side of the moon facing us gets no sunlight at all, then we cannot see the moon, and we call this a new moon, and it is on a day first of its revolution. Suppose today moon is going to revolve around the earth, then the first day of that phase is the new moon, and that time we cannot see the moon, and we call this a new moon. Then afterwards there the next phase of the moon is the crescent moon. As the moon moves along its orbit, a small portion of the side facing us gets sunlight. As the moon moves along its orbit, a small portion of the side facing us gets sunlight, and we can see the crescent moon, and it is after 4 days or on the day 4th of the beginning. Afterwards, the next phase of the moon is the half moon. In a week, that means from the beginning after a week, we can see half of the moon. It is on day 7. On day 7, we can see only half moon, and this is called as the half moon phase. Then gibbous moon, after 3 more days, that means on day 10th or 10th day, we see 3/4 of the moon. How much moon we can see after 10 days? We can see 3/4 of the moon, and this is called as the gibbous moon. It is on day 10. Then afterwards full moon in 2 weeks, means near about of 14 days, we can see entire side or entire side facing us gets sunlight, and we can then see the full moon, that is on day 14, and after this the phases start to reverse. Here I will show you the picture of the phases of the moon. In your textbook also you can see the phases of the moon. Suppose here this is the day 1st. On day 1st we cannot see the moon, and this is called as the new moon. Here is the earth, if we are on the earth, we cannot see the moon on first day. Then after fourth day, here in this picture you can see the crescent moon. Why? Because only a small portion of the side facing us gets sunlight and we can see crescent moon. After a week or in a week, we can see half of the moon. Here in this picture you can see half of the moon, this is called as the half moon. Then again on 10th day, after 3 more days, or again on the 10th day, we can see 3/4 of the moon, and this is the gibbous moon. Then in 2 weeks, the entire side facing us, here entire side facing us gets sunlight, and we can see then, or we can see the full moon on day 14. But after this phases start to reverse. That means on 17 days, on 21 days, on 25th days, that phases started to reverse. Again on 28 days, or sometimes on after in a month, again we will see new moon. So these phases and this revolution keep continuous, and phases of the moons are also be continuous. So these are all about the phases of the moon that we can see from the earth. Now afterwards we have to see about the next point of the lesson, that is the landing on the moon. Landing on the moon, that means who steps first on the moon. So the 3 American astronauts whose names are Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin and Michael Collins. Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin and Michael Collins were the first to visit the moon in a spacecraft called Apollo 11. And Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin walked on the moon on 21st of July in 1969. And Neil Armstrong was the first human to step on the moon. This is important question that you have to keep in mind, that the first human to step on the moon was Neil Armstrong. Along with Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin and Michael Collins also were the first to visit the moon, and they reached on the moon in a spacecraft called as Apollo 11. Now afterwards we have to see about the eclipses. For that you can do one experiment at your home. For that you have to shine a torch towards a wall, and now put your hands between the torch and the wall. Then there you can see a shadow of your hand on the wall. Like that you can do the experiment at your home also. First of all, you have to shine a torch towards a wall, or afterwards you have to put your hand between the torch and the wall. Then there you can see a shadow of your hand on the wall. Why this is? This is due to of the rays of light. And in the same way, the earth and the moon also cast shadows in space when sunlight falls on them. In the same way, the earth and the moon cast shadows in space when sunlight falls on them, and this shadow falls on another heavenly object like other planets, like moon, like earth, etc., and it causes an eclipse. According to the position of the earth, sun and the moon, eclipses are being divided into two kinds, that are solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. So first of all, we will see about what is mean by solar eclipse. So sometimes the moon comes, or when the moon comes in between the sun and the earth. This is very important. When the moon comes in between the sun, and the earth. then it blocks the light of the sun and casts a shadow on the earth, and the people in the shadow can either not see the sun at all or can see it only partially. Partially means only some part of the sun, and we call this a solar eclipse. We call this a solar eclipse. This condition is known as the solar eclipse, and there are two types of solar eclipses, that are total solar eclipse and another one is a partial solar eclipse. So, what is mean by total solar eclipse? If the sun is completely blocked, or when the sun is completely blocked by the moon, then we can see or we can experience a total solar eclipse. That means, we cannot see any part of the moon, and in opposite to that, or if it is only partially blocked, then we experience a partial solar eclipse, and the eclipse ends when the moon continues on its orbit. When moon starts to continuous in its orbits, then that type of eclipses are been end. So, the eclipse ends when the moon continues on its orbit and moves away. So, a solar eclipse lasts only for around 7 minutes. Keep in mind that a solar eclipse lasts only for around 7 minutes. But another one thing you have to keep in mind, that never watch a solar eclipse directly, even through sunglasses also. Why? Because the light from the sun is very strong and can damage your eyes. So, never watch a solar eclipse directly, even though sunglasses also. Why? Because the light from the sun is very strong and can damage your eyes. Here in this picture, I will show you the image or the picture of solar eclipse. In your textbook also you can see the solar eclipse. This is the sun, this is the moon, and this is the earth. When moon comes in between sun and earth, from that picture you can get clear idea about the solar eclipse. This is the sun and these are sun rays, and due to of moon, or when the moon comes in the path of sun and comes in between the earth and the sun, the shadow of the moon falls on the earth, then we can call that as a solar eclipse. Sometime it is been total solar eclipse, or sometime it been partial solar eclipse. Then afterwards we have to see about the lunar eclipse. So, what is mean by lunar eclipse? When the earth comes in between the sun and the moon. When the earth comes in between the sun and the moon, the shadow of the earth can fall on the moon, then you will not able to see the moon, or can only see it partially. Then this condition we call this condition in the space are known as lunar eclipse, or we can call this a lunar eclipse. And like the solar eclipse, lunar eclipses are of two types, that are total lunar eclipse and partial lunar eclipse. So, in our next session we will see in detail about the lunar eclipse, and we will conclude our session here today. But it is very important to see about the things that we had discussed in our today's session. So, first of all, we discussed about how the moon looks, then we studied about the conditions on the moon, then afterwards we studied about how the moon moves, phases of the moon, landing on the moon, and about solar eclipse. So, here with this point of the lesson we conclude our session, and in our next session we will see the remaining part of the lesson. Till that, you have to read the topic properly and try to find out the hard words and important point from the lesson. Thank you.